Hi, Grandma from Grandma's Footsteps here, and today we're going to do the second part of the long-legged gnome. So today we're going to start with the legs. Now you remember we made the wires for the legs, and now we're going to wrap them with core wool and make them nice and strong and fat. You want to make them as smooth as possible. So I'm only going down to the foot because the foot I'm going to do in black to make the boots. And just stab it down a little to make it so that it stays and doesn't unwind. And I've made the other leg to match, or as much near as I can to matching. A little bit more stabbing here just to make them nice and firm and more even. Once I'm happy with the legs, we'll then put the stripy socks on. I've decided to match the stripes on the socks to the colours in the hat. So we already have the white socks, so we're going to have orange and green stripes. We'll just take a small piece, smooth it out, and basically we're going to wrap it round, make a nice sort of stripe, make the socks look more interesting. So, and remove any excess wool, and there we go. And remember to stab in from the top and the bottom of the stripe to get a nice straight edge. And you can see here as I'm doing it, it gets smoother and straighter. You can spend as long as you like on doing these stripes. I'm a bit particular about it, so and now I'm going to speed the video up for you so that you can see the others happening, and away we go. So we're going to intersperse the the orange and the green stripes, make him nice and pretty and colourful. Obviously, if you use red and green and colours like that, you can quite easily turn him into a Christmas gnome, should you wish to, or even a Santa. It's quite easy using the right colours and the right bits in the right places. You can easily turn things like this into Christmas decorations. And of course you can make his legs as long as you want. You can make him very tall with very long legs. That does look quite cute. So you just make the wires longer and more stripes. However you feel about it. If you want stripes, you don't have to have stripes on the legs. You could just do them single bright colour, or you could put dots on the legs if you wished, spots. Same with the hat. You can use spots, or you can use stripes, or you can leave them plain. It's entirely up to you. You can design however you wish. Just do what looks right to you. Again, stabbing into the top and the bottom of the stripe to get it nice and smooth, to get a nice edge. There we are. 2 striped legs. And now I'm adding a larger amount of green to the top so that it will look a little bit like shorts, or shorts, or whatever you call them. A bit, like down to the knee or whatever, just so that, and then when we join it to the body, there'll be the same colour as the bottom of the body, which will give us a chance to stab the wool in and not just relying on the glued wire. So there we go. Just nice bit of green, making a nice sort of leg. It also makes the leg a little bit fatter at the top, which of course is more natural. And now the body. We've already marked where we're going to put the legs, if you remember, and I believe we're going to make the holes now. Yeah, here we are. I've got a very nice awl here, or pokey tool, or whatever you wish to call it, and I'm just pushing in to make the holes initially. They probably won't be big enough to take the double wire that we have on there, but we will make them bigger as we go along. But you need them to go quite a long way. Now just checking to see if it will go in, and I don't think it does quite, so pulling the wool back. So I'm going to have to try something else, so I'm going to get a pair of scissors and put that into the hole and twist. I'm sorry I went off shot here, but there we go. Now you can see, just put the scissors into the hole and twist round and round and round. We're just enlarging the hole. The wool does close up again around holes, so don't worry about it unduly. Right, and once you can get the wire in, most important thing, of course, is to make sure that the legs are the right way round and the feet are facing front, because you don't want to have to move it once you've done it. I'm just checking there on the side to make sure that it is facing front where I want it, and also to get the foot the right size or the right angle. Okay, so right, once we've done that, we will make the hole for the other one. As you can see, just with the scissors, you might think we're making the hole a bit too big, but it does close up again. And what we've done is we've pushed made the holes, filled the holes with glue, and pushed the legs on, and given them a few minutes to set before we start to add the green wool. So as you can see here, we're adding the green wool around the legs and using this opportunity to stab through the top of the legs as well into the body, which helps to make them firmer, more solid. And then, well, I'll just speed it up while I do this bit for you. I keep putting him over to one side to just see if he stands at all. But yeah, basically filling in those bits and getting the shape that we want round the face, and making sure that the legs are well attached to the body. And as you can see, that does now actually look like a pair of shorts or whatever it is that elves wear. Yeah, and his long socks. So that's yeah, I'm quite pleased with that, the way that's coming out. Yeah, and I think he probably will stand once we've got his feet. Now to do the feet, I've got 2 pieces of black wool, which I'm just flattening out a little bit. They're fairly thick, but just flatten them out a little bit on the mat. And each one of these is going to form a shoe or a boot. We need the shoes fairly large, as we want it to help him stand up. And right, so we place the wire for the foot right in the front. It's a little bit difficult to show you at this angle because obviously his head gets in the way, but you can see that I'm just folding in the wool around the wire, just folding it in. Yeah, I'm trying to give you a better view now, so fold the front in, a little bit of stabbing just to hold it in that ring of wire. And then at the back, I'm just taking it slightly up the heel, and then to make the back of the shoe, taking off the little bit of excess there and just folding it round the foot and the bottom part of the leg to make it shoe shaped basically. So yeah, fold it in and take off that excess bit there and just stab away. And the back, you see there, you need to pull that round the back of his heel a bit more and attach that in there to make like the back of the shoe. If you pull it round even further, or you add a bit more black to the top, up his leg a little, you can make boots. This is an exceedingly difficult angle to film because his head and his nose is all in the way. But yeah, and you can see now that we're making the foot firmer by stabbing it, and also shaping it a bit more. We want the shoe wider at the front and narrower at the back. We want it to go up the heel. You do want a little bit of shoe behind the leg where the heel is, because it helps to give him the stand, to get him to stand. Now here I've got an old felting mat, a small one, and I'm using that to enable me to stab into the back of the foot without bending it all up by hanging it over the edge. You can do that quite a lot. I've got several different shaped and thick bits of bits of foam that I use for exactly this purpose, animals' legs and such like, so that you can hang it over the edge and you're not going to damage it while you're stabbing. Okay, a little bit of stabbing into the bottom, minding your fingers there. And just continue to shape the foot until you're happy that it looks like a shoe or a boot. Just speed it up a little bit here for you. You don't need to watch every stab. There we are. And now the other foot, which we do exactly the same. So we fold up the front, pull the back up and fold round the sides, and then just stab everything into place. Making sure it's well attached to the bottom of the leg and that you've got a nice 90-degree angle at the ankle. Bit of adjustment here and there at this stage will make him stand. As you can see by his foot there, he is actually standing by himself, so that's good news. You want the bottom of the shoe to be as flat as possible, obviously, and for the two shoes to look as similar as possible to each other. There we are. Getting there. We're getting there. Oh, nearly. Nearly. The mat isn't necessarily the best place to try and stand things. Yeah, it's going to work. Right. Okay, he's really getting there now, I think. We're just refining the feet and the shoes a little, giving them nice smooth edges by needle felting into the edge there, checking that the legs feel firm enough for me. If his legs are not firm, then he's not going to stand very well. And, just get his centre of gravity right, and there he is. He's actually standing on the mat now. If you find you have serious difficulties with getting him to stand, you can put him on a block of wood. And this is the wool that I decided in the end I was going to make his beard with. So it's a roving or a tops. So you pull off a strand, and in this case I've halved it, and we're going to attach his beard. Now I started up under the nose, and then I changed my mind. And you'll see in a very few seconds that I pull it off and decide to start underneath the underbeard, as it were. It just will make it easier, and make the beard look fuller. There you go. I've pulled it off. It's good like that, needle felting. Now find the middle of that piece there, like that, and then we're going to needle felt along that edge of the body, I suppose, or the face. Just needle felt it in right the way through the middle of that beard piece, and you need this quite firm. You don't want the beard falling out. So I turn to my clover tool, my 3 needle tool, and I'm stabbing this quite firmly into the tumbled wire ball, and there you go. That's the start of the beard. Now how you put the rest of the beard on depends on how you want it to look at the end, because you can do a very simple beard, which is just sort of like lines, just put it on in lines across the face, or something a little bit more complicated by going around the edges, and that makes the beard stick out more to the sides, and rather than just straight down. So it's up to you how you want to attach your beard, but basically you just take your strips and find the middle, needle felt down into the middle nice and firmly, and then when you fold it over, you've got this nice nice looking beard with a good bit of fullness in it. So you just continue adding the wool here at this stage until you've filled up the face right up to the nose. We use this merino or roving tops for beards because it's a very nice long staple fibre. So when you pull it apart, as I did there, you get a nice long piece of wool. It's not a exceedingly short fibre like some of the carded bats are, and you really want that length. But and also it mostly pulls off at the same length each time you pull it. You can make it longer by moving your hands, but I find just it comes out fairly even, which is very good. So there we go. I'm just getting around the outside now. There. Look at that. As you can see, where we've gone round the shape of the face there, putting the beard on rather than going straight across, it does make it stick out sideways. And there he is. And I've added a little bit of what yarn